Most people believe if you work hard, deliver results, and go above and beyond, you get promoted. But very often the opposite happens. The better you are, the more stuck you become. And it's not because your manager doesn't value you. It's because they do. There's a moment in your career nobody warns you about. You stop being seen as someone who's ready for more. And you start being seen as someone they can't afford to lose. Let me give you a simple way to think about it. If you disappeared tomorrow, what would happen? Would things keep moving? Or would everything slow down, break, or fall apart for a while? Because that answer is exactly how your manager is thinking. If losing you creates a problem, then promoting you creates a bigger one. Now this is important because most people take this personally. They think they're being overlooked. They think they're being held back. They think their manager doesn't see their potential. But in many cases, it's much simpler than that. Your manager is thinking, if I move this person, who replaces them? How long would it take to train someone new? What goes wrong in the meantime? What happens if performance drops? So what do? They keep you exactly where you are. And they reward you in safer ways. You get praise, you get recognition, you get told how valuable you are. What you don't get is movement. And this is where people get stuck for years, because it feels like progress. But it's not. So here are the signs you need to watch for. You become the solution for everything. Every problem comes to you. Every issue lands on your desk. Now that feels good, but it also means nothing runs without you. You're doing more, but you're not moving. You're taking on bigger problems, more responsibility, more pressure, but your title and your pay stay the same. Your development conversations are vague. You hear things like, just keep doing what you're doing, or you're on the right track. But there's no timeline, no structure, no clear next step. And then there's the big one. You become known as the reliable one. Now that sounds like a compliment, and it is, but it's also a label. And that label says, leave them where they are. So if that's happening, what do you do? Well, here's the shift. You don't get promoted for doing more work. You get promoted for making yourself replaceable. Now that's the part most people resist, because they think if they give things away, they lose their value. But the opposite is true. So start by getting things out of your head. So document your processes, write down how things actually work, capture the decisions you make every day. You're proving that the role doesn't depend entirely on you. Then start handing things over. Train people, involve others. Let them take ownership, even if they're slower at the start. Because what you're showing is that you don't just do the work. You can build capability in others. And that's a completely different level. Then change how you show up. Right now, you're known as the person who gets things done. You need to become the person who improves how things get done. So start suggesting better ways of working. Fix recurring problems instead of just reacting to them. Think beyond your role, because that's where the promotions live. Now, once you've done that, don't wait to be noticed. Take control of the conversation. Don't say, "Can I be promoted?" Say something like, "Here's how the role runs without me, and here's where I can add more value." Now that immediately changes how you're seen. Then be clear about what you want next. What role, what responsibility, what level. Clarity matters. And then do something most people avoid. Put a timeline on it. Over the next 3 to 6 months, I want to transition into this role. What would need to happen to make that possible? Now it's a real conversation, not a vague hope, and if nothing changes after that, you've got your answer. And that allows you to make a clear decision about your next move. So if you take one thing from this, let it be this. Being excellent at your job is not enough. Because if your success makes you difficult to replace, it can also make you difficult to promote. So don't just prove you can do the job. Prove the job can run without you. That's when your career actually starts to move. So if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment with your biggest takeaway. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like these. I'll see you soon.